Hi, Heather here. I have been on this journey. I'll call it a soul flight, um, where I connected with God and my ancestors, and I did that, and also jumped into the world of plant medicine for healing and surrendering pharmaceuticals from my life and other toxic things, paying more attention to the nourishment I was giving my body, whether it be water or more vegetables or whatever, exercise, those sorts of things. Getting very focused in my thoughts and intentional in my actions each day. And it's like I've been in this jungle in the sky, I call it, up here in God's embrace, thinking about Angel Heather when I'm long gone from this planet. What am I telling God that I did, you know? And so this has been the soul flight for me. It is just a true polishing of self and everything that is you, and what is your true talent and purpose on this planet. Why were you planted here for this lifetime, right? And I feel like the plant medicine has, this plant kingdom has really helped me connect to earth. Like, I've been up here in the clouds in God's embrace, and the plant medicine is helping me see my growth and how to attach to circumstances in my physical surroundings. And we've made plant medicine legal in Missouri now, so we should be considering what are the consequences of that for our schools and our corporations and our government practices and all of these things. We've said that it is natural and good, and I do believe that because I feel the difference in my life because of it. So now it's looking at all of our practices that used to shun such a thing, and how do we polish them in a way that's more open and accepting of such a beautiful, wise medication. And it shows us to look at the spiritual reason for our physical problems. Why are we experiencing certain things in our existence, technology problems or arguments with family, or whatever. What are we bumping up against, and why are we bumping up against it? The reflection, the 360 reflection of what is it showing me? What is it showing me that I need to be doing? And one of the things that I see is singing the tune of marijuana and its benefits. For years, I did not try it because I had a psychiatrist that strongly cautioned against it. Like, in fact, when I was struggling so much, that was one of the things I went back to. Why is he saying that's bad? Why? What's so bad about it? I need to discover this for myself because and I don't see it as bad. I see it as giving me full vision, full focus on what I was born to do. And I was born to make a difference in people's lives. People who are at this point where they just think that they want to give up. And what causes that level of desperation, and how do we climb out of it and remember that God gave us this human vessel. Don't give up on it so young, you know. We have so many miles left. And so what if we're 40 or 50 or 60? I mean, 40 more years is a lot of years to do something, right? You know, it's like just taking this different perspective on life and being like, when it's all over and I'm laying in some cloud in heaven, I want to tell God, I convinced as many people that were ready to give up as possible to never give up, to just polish themselves and stop worrying about what everybody else wants for them to do and do what they're meant to do, right? So my initiative, what I want to do is I want to write a movie to educate about the things that are happening in schools and in our homes, causing the behaviors in our schools, and getting our kids to really talk and want to make a difference and want to be engaged, and get our parents and teachers talking, clean up what's happening. I have taken a couple of substitute jobs here recently, and I'm hearing about kids jumping from fifth story balconies and landing on the ground. I'm hearing about kids giving other kids laced drugs. I mean, things are still happening in schools like what I experienced as a teen. And during this total eclipse over these last few days, my ancestors have been taking me back to that time when I was in the 7th and 8th grade and how I was feeling. And pause. I'm going to pause for a moment and take a drink. Thank you. And how I was feeling after things that had happened to me as a little girl. Things that maybe our family doesn't want us to talk about, but we should be talking about because they're impacting our children. You know, drunk uncles jacking off in front of our teenagers, or adolescent teenagers crossing the boundaries with their younger cousins. These are things that we need to talk about, and we need to be talking to our children about what's happening in their bodies and why are they having these cravings, or you know, what's happening. And then as teenagers, when they're in school and they're experiencing bullying or whatever, what is the behavior that they're getting bullied for, and how can they illuminate that in their life and truly become themselves and surrender their worry of other people's judgment and go based solely on the judgment of God and what they were born for, their true God-given talent, not what their parents want them to do, not what their school wants them to do, but what they were gifted to us, humanity, to do. Truly let them illuminate and be able to bravely talk about difficult topics, sex, drugs. These are the things they're experiencing at this particular pivot in their life. And, you know, for a long time I was anti-drug because of experiences that I had growing up. And then I took the walk myself as my son was struggling in addiction. And I did everything I could to like buy test kits and, you know, make sure what I was taking was safe. And, you know, are our kids going to explore this stuff? Yeah, think about our governments and how governments are built. I mean, there's always an underground of something and an above ground once it finally gets legalized, right? So it's teaching humans how to be as responsible and respectful and kind to one another as we can be, as we learn and continue to explore what's good and what's not so good and needs to be phased out. So anyways, I am circling back around, and God took me to this place in roughly 7th or 8th grade when I was transforming from that child inside to a woman with sexual creation energy stirring in me, in finding its outlet in however it needed to in those circumstances. That's what's happening nature in our body. I got a download this morning that I really liked, and it was let me look and see what I called it. I don't have my note right there. Okay, it's coming back to me. Oh, thank you, Grandma. Okay, so the download was sin is just sinking into nature. You're just sinking into the environment in which you're in and learning the rules and how to polish your behavior within that set of circumstances and where you can illuminate and make differences. And so sin is our soil for our growth. Heaven would not forbid sin. Heaven needs sin for us to grow and blossom into what we're meant to be. And so I want to, at Chalbala Leadership, I am looking for a few star students that maybe are in a difficult place in life. Maybe as their parent, you don't know what's wrong with them. You don't know what to do. They just seem disconnected. I've been there. I get it. And I can help them. And I can give them a really exciting project that I think they will like to work on. A movie and building a script about things that are happening in schools and how we can make a difference to make them more supportive and engaging, and they'll have an opportunity to learn about business financing and marketing, and they'll help me with the project, and we'll talk about what struggles they are going through. I believe that all of our physical ailments start with a spiritual problem. And when I rewind the tape and putting my children on medicine for ADHD and things like that, I wished I'd have known then what I know now, because I think now we can treat these things with proper diet and exercise and making sure our students are getting very good nutrition before they go to school, and not just sugary Pop-Tarts and cereal, which, hey, I did it too. And it's like recognizing how we can clean up things to make our futures brighter and our teachers' jobs easier and our students' lives more engaging and fun and less painful. So I've got some really, really exciting plans. And what my coaching practice does is, so if you have a student, your child that is a student and struggling right now, and you think I would be a great fit as their talent development coach, figuring out what their star power is, whatever they're meant to bloom into, My charge is $100 an hour. I am going to be offering 3 different programs, and we'll just see how, based on what comes in, how we can make it work. But I'm offering 3 programs, either 5-hour weeks, so 5 hours of counseling. I'm doing 5 hours of counseling in 1 week, and that would be $500. And then, we would talk about how many weeks we need to do after that first assessment. And I'll also open up a program for 4-hour weeks, and that would be $400 a week, where I could take 2 students, or I'll have a package for 3-hour weeks where I could take 3 students in 1 week, providing there's someone out there that says this is a really cool project and I want to donate to it and help fund this experience. So depending on what comes in, how many I will open up of each segment, but I do want to work with a few STAR students before I start opening it up to bigger groups, where I will host like slumber parties and allow teens to come over and talk about the difficult things that they're dealing with and how we can problem solve to resolve them. So I'll open those up in the coming weeks. I do want to get a couple of STAR students first if possible. And yeah, so that is it. That's what I have for you today. Peace, love, protection, and ultimate happiness. Take care of yourself so that you can then give back in your purpose and your plan on this planet. Thank you to the 3 P's in my life, my 3 children, and I am so excited about the journey forward. Take care. Thank you, Grandma. I'm tangled up in the blanket.